Now we review here. Not over there. Here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I have seen Here, which is a movie about a location. It theoretically spans all the way from the death of the dinosaurs up until somewhere around modern day, at least the pandemic, and has no traditional story. Anyway, for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. I am giving you an opportunity to do something for the world for free. I suggest you take it. Now here, again, it's a location. There's very little in the world of dinosaurs. Mostly, this is human habitation. In the terms of human habitation, you have sort of what appears to be Block 1, which is before the house was built, and Block 2 after the house was built. Block 1 and Block 2, there's no linear storytelling here. So you have random occurrences throughout the life of this location, and sometimes you'll even have, like, here's the scene, and then a window opens up, and here's something happening at a completely different time, and that's just what this is. That's what this film is it's showing you these snapshots. Most of it is regarding a family of which Tom Hanks' character is a part, and they de-age him really well. There's a lot of something doesn't look right with these pictures, but most people aren't going to notice it. Only I do, because I've got really good vision. So, you've got dinosaurs, then you've got humans, and this location shows Native Americans and colonists. All right? So it's like, there was a time when Native Americans lived in this area, and, it shows very few scenes where they lived, they died, they loved. Beautiful story, really, but very, very short. I think there's maybe 10 minutes of that in the whole movie, maybe even less. Then there's the colonial time before the house was built. That is interspersed throughout the movie. And the house across the street apparently belonged to a rather notable figure, and it's like the dad, I think, was a redcoat, and the son might have been a nationalist trying to break from the crown. So there's that. And then, of course, you've got the house, mainly Tom Hanks' family. It goes all the way from his birth. I think he's a baby boomer. All the way up until the modern day when a different family is in the house. And it shows a lot of tragedy, really. It's a very sad movie. They've got people dying and relationships breaking up, and very little in this movie is going to be uplifting. And here is the thing about this film, okay? It is something different. It's not a good something different, but it is something different. It's an art piece that is meant to show that the true character is the location. There are times when you're really going to have to focus on people's names, because it's like, okay, the dad and the son look alike, and you don't get a lot of close shots of them. The camera is static, The camera does not zoom in to give you importance or focus on this person to show that they're talking. It is merely as if you are a fly stuck on the wall and you can't move. So you're given this story, and it's non-linear. So this is a scene where, Grandma passed away. This is a scene where, Grandma and Grandpa are too young to have had kids, and they're talking about the fact that they're pregnant. And this is a scene where the great-granddaughter is doing something. And this is the dynamic that's happening here, is you're not being given information in any reasonable way. You're just being handed information that enhances your understanding of the situation. Understand this about non-linear storytelling, is like Quentin Tarantino is probably the biggest master of non-linear storytelling, is that you get the information in the order of which it is important. Okay? You see a scene where it's like, okay, this guy dies, right? That's in Pulp Fiction. And then the next scene he's back because it's non-linear and you're finding out how he got to that location. So you're invested in this character because you know he's going to die. Then you find out the backstory. So this is the thing about Tarantino and any form of non-linear storytelling, is that the initial point should invest you. It's like the hammer strike that sets the nail, and the rest of the storytelling is to drive the nail in. And I mean, there are occasions where you don't want to hit the nail as hard, but everything starts from that strike to push you in and go further. Everything should give you more information, but that information normally is building towards an eventual story. It is not what this is, which is just it's life slapped into your face. Everything happens pretty much in real time, and they're just events that talk about history. If you're a history buff, you're probably going to really like this film. Me personally, I have to admit that I don't know if I cared for this. I mean, look, I've seen plays, and I've seen a lot of very interesting plays, and I've dealt with this really on an extreme level. So I understand the static shot, but understand this much, that there is a reason a play is more engaging than a film, is that the play is happening live. What might happen next, you never know. There is always an element of this is happening live. It's like watching someone dance as opposed to watching a video of someone dance. You can't rewind. You have to pay attention. This, on the other hand, this movie it's as I say, it's an art piece. Give this as an art piece rating because it's unique, it's different, it may even be culturally significant at some point, but it is not compelling, it is not driving, it is not entertaining. I didn't sit there and think, oh my God, I love this movie. I said, okay, here's another thing that was typical to this house. I'm not seeing a lot of things that pique my interest and I don't want to know what happens to these characters, because, you're sitting there going, well, but you've already told me that they're going to sell this house, and, you're telling me, well, why are they going to sell this house? Because people sell houses, probably because somebody died, Across the street from me, there is a house that had the same family in it for 3 generations, all right? Then the son died. He died before his mother. His mother died shortly thereafter. And the sister to the husband, who had died during the pandemic, came in and they gutted the place and sold it. And it's like, yeah, okay. Do I want to know what this place looked like? I mean, I've lived in the same house my entire life. So I don't really think of what's happening in other places I've lived because it's just not important to me. Now, yeah, there have been a few times I've gone back to my old high school for some reason, and I've seen that, okay, they've renovated the place, they put fences around it. I guess that's to keep the drug dealers out. It used to be I could go to my grade school, and because I live within walking distance of it, it's a half-mile away, and there was a place where the fence was open so that you could get in there and play in the playground. And that's what I did when I was a kid. Before I ever went there to school, my father used to take me there, and we'd go in there and we'd play on the playground. Well, now I think the playground's gone. At least it's been remodeled. And there are more buildings because there's more people, and there are more places that the students need to be learning. So much of the old track field is gone. And you look at this and you think, okay, this building has changed a lot over the years. But is it a compelling story to me? No, it's not. So yeah, this is an art piece. It's a unique film. I mean, you could make 1,000 sequels of this by picking any location and being, okay, what happened here? Let's write a story about these families, but we don't have to write the full story because we're just giving you snippets. And this is common maturation for families. I'm sure that at some point where I'm standing, a dinosaur stood. All right? And I guess it would be cool to see that dinosaur. And I'm sure at some point where my house is now was an open field. And I guess it would be cool to know what that looked like. But I don't know if I want to sit down and watch a movie about it. So yes, this is an art film. It's a unique watch. And if you want to promote people trying something different, go see this movie. If you don't, you just want to be entertained, this movie is not for you. So like I say, my rare art piece definition, that's what this film is. That's what I'm calling it. If you've seen here, let me know in the comments below. What do you think of it? I'm Richard. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeVille. Yep. Fred the Facehugger here, reminding you to comment, like, and subscribe. Why should you do that? Because it helps this channel out. And if you've made it to this part in the video, you obviously like this video. So why not help us make more videos by supporting this channel, by making the algorithm happy, by commenting, liking, and subscribing.